As promised, we are joined by Tristi Rodriguez of NBC Sports California. Tristi does great work for them. You can check out all of her work on NBCSportsCalifornia.com. Tristi, thanks so much for joining us. I know you're driving back to the Yay area. We appreciate you taking the time.
Yeah, of course. Thanks for having me, guys. Hopefully it's not too staticky or anything.
No, well, you're good right now, Tristi. And speaking of good or bad, I know you've been driving. Real quick, have you got a chance to take a look at the Kings' new mascot, Royale?
I have. Yeah. How could I have not, right? I logged on to Twitter and, see it all over. Interesting ways for me to wake up. I like the jerseys.
Yes.
I will say that.
Yes.
But yeah, definitely interesting.
Interesting.
I don't know how Clemson feels.
Yeah, I know. I think at some point maybe they'll stage a fight. I mean, what we're doing with boxing nowadays, it wouldn't be the worst fight I've ever seen. But yeah, a lot of people are trying to defend Slamson. But, like I said, Tristi, I know how it is being a new guy on the block. So, I got to show love to Royale. And I'm sure we'll both see him at one of these games. All right, let's get to stuff on the court. Let's talk about the three-point shooting. The Kings' highest percentage that they've had all season long, and it hasn't been close. They hadn't even got to 40% prior to last night's 53. Prior to last night, how worried – I know we were both in the pregame interview together with Mike Brown, and he talked a lot about it. How worried were you about the three-point shooting, and are you still worried if you were?
I mean, I feel like worried is a little extreme. It's definitely, it would be naive to look at this team and be like, prior to last night, and be like, yeah, it's not concerning. But it's funny, you mentioned the press conference waiting for Mike Brown pregame, and me and Tony were talking, and we're just like, what is this team's identity? They're not shooting well. They're, whatever, blah, blah, blah. So we're going on about that. Mike Brown comes out, and he's just like, well, I'm still confident in my guys. I believe we have good shooters, blah, 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 blah. Same thing. I'm just like, and I'm leaving the room, and I'm like, how can he, look at this team and still have so much confidence in their shooting when the numbers don't lie? It's not just one or two games where we're seeing bad shooting. It's been the entire season. And then he shut me up real quick. They have the best shooting night of the season. And I'm like, okay, I'm looking back at the last time when I was writing my post-game story, I'm looking back at his pregame post, and I'm like, wow, he knew what he's talking about. He sees these guys. It's mostly the same guys from the past two seasons. He knows, and we know that they're capable of shooting, but I think it was okay and right of us to be a little bit concerned about it. But yeah, I mean, I feel better about it after last night. The offense as a whole just looked like Sacramento Kings offense should. And so I'm feeling a lot better about it.
Talking to Tristi Rodriguez of NBC Sports. Yeah, a little bit more on last night, Tristi. We were going back and forth on DeMar DeRozan and whether it was because DeMar wasn't playing or he only had taken 2 shots in the first half. What specifically looked different to you? We were trying to put a finger on it. Doug Christie talks about the ball having energy. Did it just feel like there was more of a flow last night?
I mean, yeah, I think I was thinking about it, and I'm just like, wow. De'Aaron Fox, he shot career-high 3-point percentage last season. We know he's fully capable of, shooting the 3 ball at a high clip, but his percentages have been low this season. And last night, he just had 2 3-point attempts. He played his role as a point guard perfectly. He drove to the paint, and from there, just with his speed and just his aggressiveness driving to the paint, the options are endless for him. And it's so lethal because, just like I said, with his speed, when he gets to the paint, he has so many options. He can shoot the ball, he can get to the basket, he can dish it out to Sabonis or whoever's cutting, dish it out, spray it out, right, like Mike Brown says, to Herter or Keegan on the perimeter. And I feel like he did that so well last night. And of course, like I said, we know he's capable of shooting the 3 ball, and he will continue to do that as he should. We know he's a good three-point shooter.
Mm-hmm.
But I think what was different last night, at least from my point of view, is that he didn't settle for the three. He wasn't so he didn't rely so much on shooting the three-point shot. He drove to the basket, played his role as point guard, created for himself and created for others, and I think that's where we saw the difference in the offense flowing.
Talking to Tristi Rodriguez, NBC Sports. Tristi, help me out here. People were coming down my road because I wanted to have the conversation about the usage of DeMar DeRozan and how he didn't play. He didn't shoot. He only shot twice last night. He only played the first half, and all of a sudden now the Kings shoot 53%. Maybe it's a one-off. We'll find out tomorrow and in the games to come. How would you assess DeMar DeRozan, and do you think maybe last night could unlock a new version of the Kings where it's not as DeMar DeRozan, the sustainability isn't the same, where it's not as dependent on DeMar DeRozan?
You sound like that guy that was on the podcast. There's DeMar DeRozan.
No, stop. No, don't do that. Don't do that. Don't do that.
No, I don't. I mean, I'm not a coach. I don't know what they're going to do. Like you said, we'll see what moving forward, how they use him and how that changes. But, you can also flip it the other way around. And, they played this exact same team just a few days ago. And who was the one that helped them get to overtime? It was DeMar DeRozan. He has helped this team win lots of games by himself. He's put this team on his back several times to, lead them to victory. And last night, the team returned the favor in his absence. And that's how I view it. I don't think, things should be adjusted. But like I said, I'm not a coach. Mike Brown's really smart. He's really smart with his offense and the way they utilize guys and, their roles and stuff. But like you said, I guess we'll just have to see. I just personally don't think, anything should drastically change with DeMar's role.
Tristi Rodriguez, thank you so much. You got Kyle shaking his head back there. I guess I will agree. No, in agreement. So I guess I will agree for now. But all right, you thought I wasn't going to let you go. I mean, you're headed back to the Bay. You do great stuff for NBC Sports. Look, I know you're feeling good, and I'm not going to say congrats, but I'm glad you got to enjoy your team finally winning a legitimate World Series, the Dodgers. I'm not happy for the Dodgers. I'm not congratulating you, but I am glad you got to see a real ring like the rest of us.
Hey, I swear I can't do one of these radio hits and someone bring up the Dodgers, but I'll take it. Thanks for the, Allen Stiles compliments don't come often, so I will definitely keep you and run with it. And thank you. I will be showing you my Game 2 photos next time I see you from the World Series.
Oh, please do not. Please do not.
Well, your team continues to miss the playoffs. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Tristi Rodriguez. Get there safe. We will talk to you soon. Thanks for the time.
Thanks.
That was Tristi Rodriguez of NBC Sports. Be sure to check out all of her stuff on NBCSportsCalifornia.com. Also,